Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we have a new update for The Bad Batch Season 3. We're going to go ahead and hop right on into it. In this video we are going to be taking a quick read from the Direct's article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. As a read, Lucasfilm just recently announced that its Singapore visual effects and animation studio is closing indefinitely, which led to many fans wondering how it would affect Season 3 of The Bad Batch, as well as other animated projects and shows from Lucasfilm. Season 3 of Star Wars The Bad Batch is scheduled to release sometime in 2024, next year, serving as the final installment for the show as a whole and wrapping up this chapter in Clone Force 99's story. So, as I had mentioned, Lucasfilm is closing their Singapore visual effects and animation studio. Just a couple of weeks ago this was announced. I had a whole video discussing and talking about that. This is presumably in an effort as Bob Iger, CEO of Disney, had announced a number of different cutbacks and measures that they are taking for the company going forward into the regards of their different franchises to reduce costs in producing content on Disney Plus and also with their movies, also not just with Star Wars, inside and out of Star Wars, but also with Marvel and their other franchises, maybe like National Geographic or Pixar. Into the regards of The Bad Batch Season 3, a teaser was already provided to fans who attended Star Wars Celebration exclusively back in April of this year, teasing the return of Emperor Palpatine, Omega, and Crosshair's relationship as they all are in prison together, and how Clone Force 99 will rescue them in the third and final season of the show. Omega voice actress Michelle Ang had shared a photo on Instagram back in June of this year of her receiving an award congratulating her for her work on the show and being a part of the show as Omega, indicating that the voice actors were done recording their lines and on their part for the animated show. Joel Aaron, who is the director of cinematography for Star Wars The Bad Batch, recently took to X, formerly known as Twitter, you can also check me out there as well, to update fans on how Season 3 of the show is coming along, and if Lucasfilm's primary animation studio is affected by the closing of Lucasfilm's Singapore visual effects and animation studio. Aaron had told the public in his post that Lucasfilm Animation is not affected by this closure, and went on to let fans know that they are still fiercely and ferociously busy working on Season 3 of The Bad Batch, and that even Season 2 of Tales of the Jedi as well is also being worked on at the same time as well, saying that, in quote, "Just to be clear, we're not affected by this closure. LAL, Lucasfilm Animation, is not in Singapore. We've always been at either the ranch or where we are now in SF, San Francisco, or working from home even. We are still ferociously busy working on the CG to bring you all Season 3 of The Bad Batch and Tales of the Jedi." Ending that quote right there. The reason that so many fans were concerned with and about The Bad Batch and other Star Wars animated projects like Tales of the Jedi Season 2 is that the Singapore studio played much of a vital role in developing past shows such as Star Wars The Clone Wars or Star Wars Rebels animated shows for Lucasfilm and Star Wars. It is entirely possible that Season 3 of The Bad Batch could be affected by the closure slightly, but that Aaron and the rest of the crew at LAL are all still working to get it out on time next year in 2024. His comments are only saying that the Lucasfilm Animation as a whole is still operating out of the headquarters, even confirming and saying that many people are actually working from home or from San Francisco. And as Joel Aaron had also noted, it is important to remember that the Singapore location isn't the headquarters of Lucasfilm Animation or Industrial Light and Magic ILM, which are both based in San Francisco. Fans should also know that Season 3 of The Bad Batch is also not affected by the ongoing Writers Guild of America, WGA, and Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA strikes, so it is still being worked on and will release on schedule, bearing any major setbacks not concerning the strikes. which is quite honestly some great news for both of these animated projects of The Bad Batch and Tales of the Jedi, and that we would presumably actually get both of these by next year in 2024. This is honestly very surprising and very exciting, as a lot of other projects outside and in of Star Wars have been delayed or pushed back, canceled even, amid these ongoing writers' strikes and the SAG-AFTRA actors' strikes here as well. I really believe that most notably Marvel Studios is at the point of where they really won't have anything to actually even release next year in 2024, unfortunately, because of these ongoing strikes. Do remember though, however, that the studios are doing this to themselves, and that they aren't always all negotiating or all in full prospects with the people that are on strikes. Especially with Disney, what I've heard is that Disney has been the most stubborn, if out of all of these studios here, and with negotiating with their writers and with their actors here. The show executive producer and head writer Jennifer Corbett is currently supporting the WGA strike, but animated shows often deal with different guilds than live action projects, so that is why the Bad Batch isn't actually affected all that much at all, which of course it's great to see her in support. So this year all being said, when will season 3 of the Bad Batch actually be released? Seeing that season 2 of the Bad Batch came out on Disney Plus in the early months of this year, 2023, between January and March, season 3 was always advertised to be released sometime in 2024, but there is still no actual specific date or even necessarily a release window for when that could come out, until the regards of like if it's going to be in the summer, the spring, the winter, exactly. Seeing how the voice actors had recently finished recording their lines around the end of June or early July of this year, that would mean that Lucasfilm Animation is currently busy trying to get the show ready for release at some point next year, and that they are really nearing those final prospects and the final development here overall for that third season. It is also important though, however, to remember that animated shows are entirely made through the magic of VFX. So with that in mind, and the process of making a 16 episode season with each episode having a rough runtime of around 25 minutes long is going to be a long process. However, as I did mention, it is encouraging that the show isn't necessarily being delayed by the strikes and that they are still moving forward for it to release next year in 2024, as well as Tales of the Jedi Season 2. Based on the updates that fans have received from the cast and crew members that have worked on the Bad Batch Season 3, it is entirely possible that Season 3 could come out by the middle of 2024. If the closure of the Singapore studio does cause some type of setback, however, it may not come out until later in 2024. Regardless, we'll fingers crossed still get it in next year, 2024. As Lucasfilm Animation continues to work on getting everything perfected for the upcoming season, fans can expect to probably see an official trailer at the least by the end of this year, 2023, with perhaps even an official announcement of when the show will be back on Disney Plus for its final installment of its 16 episodes with its third season. Guys, this year all being said, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. What do you want to see with the Bad Batch Season 3 and its final season overall? I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Guys, have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.